Holla ballers and a bro fist to you all! Every day that's going to get me. Every single fucking day that is going to get me. But a bro fist to you, bro fist to you! I didn't move the camera. I in fact forgot the time. I was sat here just going over workshops, making notes and all that kind of stuff. Realised it's actually time to start. That's the way it goes. And welcome, welcome, welcome all you wonderful people. It's the Tuesday workshop. Or just the workshop, we're going to call it. Why the hell not? We're going to call it the workshop purely because the days got messed up because I was off last week. Kind of shitty. And hopefully during this workshop, I'm not going to have to disappear. That would be amazing. That would be great news. Welcome to all you wonderful people. Today I have for you a Frost DK submitted by one of you wonderful people. Subscriber submitted Frost Death Knight. We're also going to look at a Shadow Priest doing a Realm First Heroic Shire Fear encounter. Very stressful to get that Realm First. There's a lot riding on it. A Realm First guild feels a lot of pressure to make sure they are number one. So a first kill, especially when it is the last boss of the whole tier of raiding, can feel real stressful. If you've never been there, you can only imagine how stressful that might be. This is an important moment. And we're going to look at how a good player actually plays that really casually and just sticks to the basics. Sticking to the basics is a wonderful way of getting through that. We're also going to be looking at the new raid, Throne of Thunder. Yes, I know you guys like looking at the new raid bosses. We're going to be looking at what was on the 5.2 PTR recently. And we're going to be looking at the Throne of Thunder boss, Horadon. Yeah, for Horadon. Many trolls. There be many trolls. There be many trolls. So, what should we begin with? What should we begin with? We're going to begin with our Shire Fear kill. I think that would be nice. We're just going to look at, there's not much to learn from this one. What we are going to learn, though, is how relaxed we can be at endgame. A lot of people find heroic encounters or moving up from that normal to heroic jump, especially if you've not done it before. You cleared all the normal content. That's the easy stuff, right? That's like the dead easy stuff. It's the garbage. It's the stuff that people don't care about. And then you take that leap into heroic. And suddenly you get really tense and stressful. And you're like, this is going to be really hard. And in all that commotion, you kind of forget the basics of your character. You make silly mistakes because you're trying to play too well. Everybody believes that the top end players play at 100% all the time. Not true at all. Not true at all. In fact, the biggest thing and the biggest way of making sure you ensure kills and get good farm kills is to play relaxed and be cool. You'll often hear, if you watch a lot of first world kills, is that towards the end of fights, Ventrilo or TeamSpeak, that kind of thing gets really sort of over the top and crazy. What you'll actually find is some guy going, guys, just relax. Because that's what's going to get you killed. Not trying to do some craziness that's not needed. Not trying to pull off some sort of obscene diving out of the window, two guns blazing John Woo type shit. That's not going to get the kill. Playing casually and just playing your character and sticking to your role is probably what's going to get you the kill. And it's always nice to actually see that in action. Plus, you guys love Shadow Priests, right? You guys really love Shadow Priests. So I'm just going to load this up for us here. But yeah, John Woo. Don't disrespect John Woo, okay? Don't disrespect John Woo. That would be terrible. Don't want to do that. Okay, Heroic Shire Fear, our wonderful Shadow Priest is going to be playing from. This is from the guild Enraged Revolution. They are on Sylvanas. And you can see it's Ariadne, our wonderful Shadow Priest. So I'm going to play this for the first few seconds. I want you to tell me what you think of the UI. It's obviously not my UI. What you think of it, what is your take on this? I imagine some of you are actually going to be quite blown away by this UI. I think I think some of you are really going to go, ooh. To point out what you're looking at, this is obviously Ariadne's health. This is obviously the Shire Fear's health. This is his focus target up here with his dots on it. And this is actually the raid. This is his version of grid. And there are his spells there that are currently on cooldown. And he's also tracking things like his Shadow Orbs there, the cooldown on his Mind Blast, and how long his Shadow of Pain and Vampiric Touch are ticking for, along with his Devouring Plague. Should he get any procs, they appear here, and all major cooldowns are listed there. These are his boss timers, which is always cool, and he's got his chat nicely in the bottom. So let's have a quick discussion. There's a little bit of repeat information here, which I kind of think we'll talk about as we get into it. So what do you guys think? The health bars are scaring me. The UI is boss. Not the fan of the bars. I just stare at the glow, so it won't work for me. You find it distracting. Always important. Always important. It would be hard to see. It's kind of sexy. You can see a lot of the fight. Where's Omen? Always an issue. Where is Omen? Very shiny. Not a fan. Off spec heals. Omen, need Omen, man. Gotta get that PDF. Okay, well, initially, I love this UI. I think it's lovely. I think it's really, really nice. I'm a little bit wary of this. I think this is actually a DPS meter. I think it's a DPS meter. Do you really need a DPS meter that's like, 15 players long? I actually think that is kind of a distraction, but these are nitpicks. It's actually a lovely UI. If it was me, I would like to see these bars, these notifications of important spells, just a little bit bigger and maybe more in my line of sight. But that is literally my only criticism, and it's minor at that. It's actually a wonderful UI. I actually really, really like it. But other than that, all good. So we're going to be looking at the opener to this, which is pretty simple. Straight up DPS. You can see all the raid is nice and spread out. And everything is going to be pretty relaxed. The biggest thing that impressed me most about this is it is a first kill, but it's actually so stupidly relaxed. Like, absolutely no pressure whatsoever. No concerns whatsoever. And we're going to see a couple of examples of that as to where boss timers actually come into play. This is the kind of lesson I want to take away from this one for you guys. So you can see he goes straight in, takes position, dots up his target, picks up his moment, and just continues to DPS quite merrily. Now, this bit isn't what actually caught my eye. Everything was pretty standard, just as normal DPS rotation. Nothing crazy going on. Maybe a little bit of Prayer of Mending being fired out. Nothing unusual at all. I think he even casts a couple of shields on people. And when Death Blossom comes, if you're not aware of what Death Blossom is, once you come to these platforms, the Death Blossom on Heroic is the only thing that's really going to kill you. A big AoE that basically wipes your life out from everything that exists. It's actually when he goes back. That's when I really caught my eye. So he comes in, he's just hidden from his Death Blossom. I'll show you Death Blossom in case you've never seen it. Death Blossom soon. Wonderful raid warning of the only thing that can kill him. This is what I really like, okay? There is only one aspect of this fight that really concerns Ariadne. Really is. And this is why it's important. Everybody gets sort of caught up in major mechanics. This fight has a ton of mechanics, as long as my fucking penis, right? There's so many mechanics that you can be overwhelmed. What Ariadne's done is quite simple. Which of these mechanics actually concerns me? Some things concern healers, some things concern tanks, some things concern DPSs. So what he's done is just made, hey, this thing actually bothers me. This is a thing that can kill me. This is a thing that can screw me up. This is what I want to emphasize. Everything else I'm not particularly bothered about. I want to be aware of them, but things like Death Blossom, I want a huge message on my screen that says, Death Blossom soon. This is what concerns me. I really, really fucking care about this. This is the only thing that bothers me. Death Blossom soon. You see a quick change of position just to make sure he keeps his DPS up nice and high. There's the Death Blossom. Hides, does well, uses body and soul on his own shield to get a good hide, and then comes back out when it's nice and safe to continue his DPS using his instant cast procs. This is one of the good things about being a top DPSer. Is you take full advantage of moving and you make sure you've got things like instant cast ready to go. So even though you have to move, you're going to have a nice time keeping your DPS nice and high, which is good. So we're going to go ahead. We've got 5 more percent. I'm going to let it play through. Why not? And off he goes back. Now, your instinct. This is what caught my eye. Your instinct. When you have a fight where you move a lot, right? And you need to be in certain positions. You need to be here and there. You often get that overwhelming you as a player. I need to get back into position and then continue my DPS. This boss does nasty shit if I'm stood in the wrong place. I need to get back to that place and then I'm guaranteed safety. That could be a very overwhelming thought, and I'm sure many of you, say you do this in LFR, things like that, you'll come back and you'll instantly get back into the safe zone. Without even thinking about it, really. Your first instinct is get back to the safe zone, then I can start DPSing. What Ariadne shows us is you don't have to do that. And in fact, the top DPSers won't do that. I'm actually fully aware of how this boss works. Remember what we talk about in a lot of workshops is, one, how do I understand my class? How do I understand this boss? How do I put these things together to get a really, really solid DPS result? This is one of those examples, which I really, really love. Let's go into it. As you can see, he stops here. Now, you can see other people running straight back to the boss. They want to get back in that safe zone. But the Breath of Fear is actually not for another 26 seconds. He's completely safe. There is no danger here whatsoever. He can just nicely relax. And as he does that, he just stays well on his own, does his DPS, and he prevents being in the realm of all this extra damage, as you can see here. All this extra AoE damage that's caused by the raid being very bunched up in that area. By moving when he can, when he has instant casts, he gradually, look how long it takes him to get back there. He had 26 seconds when he landed. It's now 7 seconds to the fear, and all he did was say, hey, you know what? I've got plenty of time to get back here. I'll only move when I have instant cast spells to do, which is fucking awesome. It's absolutely amazing. He's ignoring ads. There was a debate in my mind, but I'm not sure. I'm not a very, very high level Shadow Priest. Would it be worth dropping things like Vampiric Touch on these just to get some extra Mind Blast procs and so on and so forth? But that's neither here nor there for this. The actual DPS on the main boss at this point isn't really relevant to a first kill. You got to remember, in a first kill, you prioritize what needs to die. At this point, it's all about making sure the ads on the platforms die. Killing the Shire of Fear super fast and doing everything you can do is kind of something you'll do later on farm. And then he moves back, so we're going to skip through that, which is all nice and good. 34%, 6%. And he's going to do it again. He comes straight back. Look where he stands. Absolutely relaxed. Not a care in the world. Breath of Fear, 11, 10 seconds. You can see he's doing this wonderful gradual rotation all the way back. When he's got instant cast is when he's moving. All really fucking sweet. Really, really nice. Absolutely awesome play. No problem with that at all. Using a cooldown to save himself there. Sweet as a nut. Absolutely no fear whatsoever. I love this casual play. And this is what's going to get you those big kills. Understanding the fight. Just taking your time. Not a worry. No stress. No panic. So we're going to skip further down. Now, if you've not seen this fight in Heroic for whatever reason, it has another phase, which generally involves being around here in this big open area and avoiding things like these water spouts that pop up underneath you, and then an ever-increasing amount of ads, which are controlled by people throwing this little yellow thing around. You can see it being thrown around there, and that's going to drag the ads backwards and forwards. Now, this is a very, very long phase fight, so I'm actually going to skip way down the line to when things start getting a bit hectic. This is the point in your fight where your vent and TeamSpeak start going fucking crazy. Absolutely crazy. This is where vent and TeamSpeak goes mental, right? People panicking, stressing. We're coming to the final moments of this fight. This is it. This could be the first kill. And we're actually done. We've finished the whole raid tier. We have completed every little speck of content, and people start panicking. Watch how casually Ariadne plays this. It's fucking awesome. So amazing. This can be, so for many guys who have never been in this position, it can be so stressful. It really is. You start getting anxious. You start trying to do crazy things. Should I start ignoring ads? Should I start just DPSing the boss? You're trying to make these decisions in your mind, which you think might help you. And when you have a raid full of people all trying to do their own little thing to help us get that first kill, things go really badly for everybody concerned. Ariadne just takes it so easy. Just chills in his position, keeps up his AoE. That's his job right now. My job is just to AoE. If everybody else does their job, the shit's going to die. It's going to die without any problems. You can see he's not really switching off to get other dots on. He's going when it's safe. That's when he's going to start multi-dotting. DPS whores are going to be multi-dotting from the very beginning of the fight. It's not like that at all. Throws around a couple of dots, straight into Mindseer. Not overly concerned with trying to kill the boss as fastly as possible. I need to kill this thing. I need to kill this thing. This is where you'll get those odd rogues, those other people. Just, I need to keep dots on the boss. I need to do this. I need to do that. Just take your time. You can see dots fall off nicely. Dots fall off while he's doing his... And he's still mind-searing. There's his focus target on the boss. The dots have fallen off. He's going to go ahead. These things are now safe to die. I can now go ahead back to the boss. As long as everything's safe, it's no pressure. Safety first. This is what comes down to endgame raiding. Safety first. Every single time. It's not about stroking your EP on the DPS meters. If you wanted to really stroke it, you could do multi-dotting and then nuking the boss and doing all sorts of crazy shit. It's not what he's doing. He's taking it nice and easy, fully relaxed, going onto it. And when the call comes out to go ahead and just AoE, that's what we do. We just AoE. Chilled. Totally relaxed. No stress, no panic. And the boss goes down. See, just AoEing away. Now we get the call to kill the boss. And by doing this nice, relaxed action, boss is at 4%, we can now safely kill it. Watch some of the other first kills of this fight and how panicky it gets to the end. How much stress is on the raid. How much anxious those guys are. And look how chill this is. Fucking amazing play. Absolutely amazing. It's nothing to do with rotation or anything like that. It's just picking out what I need to do and make sure I get it done. Absolutely awesome. Let's see we have to see the celebration of the first kill. You want the ventral?
Tournament, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Okay, use chain.
Might be music.
Chain. Anyone got our
I'll give you the ventral if we could realm first kill. Why not?
Okay.
Just to annoy Amon. We want to annoy Amon. This is Amon Kako's guild in the chat, by the way.
I have healing kite for the next one.
Use constants now.
Just calm down.
Vent's actually surprisingly cool. And you can actually hear the guys saying, just calm down, just get it done. This thing's gonna die. There's no pressure here. No pressure at all.
When the boss comes up, use like tournament, wouldn't it? Yes.
Okay, use chain.
Chain.
Anyone got our master?
I got rally.
Fuck yes.
Come on.
See ya!
Bro,
What the fuck?
No problem. Yes.
Oh, fucking shit.
What a shitty nerd screen. What a shitty nerd screen. So, not a great nerd screen, but still the realm first nonetheless. And that cutting edge Shard of Fear. So, it's good you should take that away. If any of you are thinking get into heroic, and you think that leap up to heroic is like really intense, really scary, it's not. It really is not. It's relaxed. And being relaxed and not playing cool, try to block out a lot of vent. If your role is really simple, Ariadne's role is really simple there. I need to AoE the ads and DPS the boss. That's it. And not die. I have nothing else to do in this encounter right now. All that bothers me is DPSing, not dying. That's it. And the only things that can kill me are things like Water Spout, which is on me. It's not me to sort out. It's nobody else's big deal. That's all I care about. I don't care about anything else in the world. Block it all out. And you'll come across really chilled and relaxed like that. So big thanks to Ariadne in Rage Revolution for donating that video. It's awesome. I think we're going to... I'll save Horridon until the last. Let's do our Frost DK friend. Our Frost DK subscriber submitted us a video of him doing various LFR bosses. And he's struggling to just find out, what am I doing wrong, right? That big thing that we feel. I should be doing something right. Or... I think I'm doing everything correctly, but I'm just not quite sure if I'm missing something, or if I am doing everything correctly, can you reassure me? A good way of doing that is to actually send us a video, and if there's something I can help with, I will help you out. So, now, resolution's a little bit small. Ooh, there it is. And we're going to skip on to the first boss. Which is coming up dead. LOL! We like being dead. We like it when we die. Now, I'm not going to do too much in the UI because it's my UI pack. So we've talked about that to death. My UI pack is down for everybody to read and download. If you wish to have this UI, you can download it from preachgaming.com. AoEing is a Frost DK. AoEing is a Frost DK. How many in the chat believe AoEing is a Frost DK is really, really easy and kind of interesting? I'm kind of interested. I'm kind of interested. How many people think that Frost DK AoE is really, really stupidly easy? It is. Easy, raise his hand. Okay. It's not quite true, unfortunately. It's not beating Kitty AoE. Maybe not, maybe not. Frost DK AoE is very easy to do reasonably well with. It's quite difficult to actually master. Frost DK AoE, especially when it's consistent going forward AoE, it needs quite a little bit of management to get the most out of it. It's very easy to get sort of decent AoE out of being a Frost DK by just literally spamming Howling Blast, and you'll get good numbers out of there. If you want to actually do proper Frost DK AoE, there's actually a little bit more to it. We're not going to go into too much detail on this. To master Frost DK AoE took me many months. And I'm serious. It took me many months to actually master it properly and to get it out. My favourite fight for this was Maloriak Heroic. For any of you who ever did that during the Blue Crusade, I managed to get the world's second DPS ranking on Maloriak Heroic. And I only did that after months and months of practicing Frost DK AoE. It's actually not that easy to master, but you can get a lot. You can get very close to being at a master sort of level just by doing some very basic things. A lot of people just think Howling Blast, LOL, whatever, right? Death and Decay, Howling Blast, LOL, one more component. But it's actually a lot about runic management. You need to control exactly what your runes are doing all the damn time. You also need to make sure you're doing the best with all your unholy runes. And there's quite a lot of management that goes into making sure you're not overriding various things. There's actually little tricks you can do with obliterates to actually increase your chances of getting Howling Blasts and extra ones and stuff like that, depending on how many mobs you have. And it actually comes down to quite a little bit of thinking. But luckily, Frost DK AoE has a little bit of downtime, so you can actually play around with that thing. So I kind of want to go into this as this is kind of, let's go back a little bit to our opening of Frost DK AoE. Let's watch what he does, and we'll see how it works out. Howling Blast, Howling Blast, Howling Blast, Death and Decay, Howling Blast, Howling Blast, Howling Blast, Howling Blast, Howling Blast, Unholy Blight. Interesting. Howling Blast. Howling Blast. Look at that Howling Blast button being spammed. Booyah! Fuck yeah, Howling Blast! Howling Blast, bitch! Howling Blast. I want you to note the damage meter. I want you to note the damage meter, okay? Winning by miles. Winning by a long, long way. So we're just going to watch this whole AoE thing. Howling Blast. Howling Blast. Howling Blast. And the last one goes down with a Howling Blast. Of course, Howling Blast. Why wouldn't we Howling Blast? It goes out. Okay, let's have a look. Let's see what some of the comments were. Frost Strike for the Mother of God. He's not dumping his runic power. Why you know Frost Strike? How can you... Haha, lol. Runic power. Howling Blast in your face. That runic bar is making me cry. Frost Strike, Frost Strike. Okay, so you all copped onto the obvious thing, which is the Frost Strikes, okay? The Frost Strikes are the main problem here. Of which there are a few, but only minor. But the major problem is the Frost Striking. If you don't understand why this is important, this runic power bar should never be full while you still have Frost runes regenerating or Death runes. But the more important thing is actually from the pull. Let's talk about the pull from the get-go. What I would do. When I'm in this situation, I'm ready to go. Here is where I pop Unholy Blight. I pop it there. I pop and then I'd probably drop a Death and Decay before we got started. Then I'm popping fucking Pillar of Frost, and then I start the Howling Blast spam. I would get Death and Decay down before we get there if I can. I want Unholy Blight up as I run in. Pillar up, and I start the Howling Blast. Now, you need to dump this runic power. It has to go, because this is going to proc more Howling Blasts. Simple as that. There's no other way about it. Either you take Runic Corruption or Runic Empowerment, whatever it might be. Whatever you do, these Frost Strikes that you dump with this are going to get you more runes to do more Howling Blasts. Simple as that. And plus it does a shitload more damage. The problem that most Frost DKs run into is this. Now, assume for me for a moment that this actual runic power bar is empty. We've used all our runes. You can see we've got no runes except unholy runes, and we have this full runic power bar. This is where you need to start thinking about what you're doing with your unholy runes. Okay, unholy rune management is actually a major key in doing successful AoE, because anytime you can't attack for whatever reason, you should be doing something. What you don't want to do is dump both unholy runes. Why don't we want to dump both unholy runes? Come on, chat. Be awesome with me. Look, all these hero DKs. All these amazing DKs. Correct. Firestar takes it with a gold medal. We want to make sure that, especially if we're using something like Runic Empowerment, is that our Frost Strikes are proccing Death or Frost runes. We don't want them to proc Unholy runes, because Unholy runes are dog shit. We don't want them. One of the big tricks about being a Frost DK in AoE, if you haven't got something like Unholy Blight, is that Plague Strike actually spreads around the disease, okay? It spreads around your diseases, your Blood Plague, every single time. And then you start multi-dotting via Plague Strike and keeping Unholy Rune ready, and then you're balancing everything again. And then you're making sure that you dump your Frost Runes again. It actually becomes quite a complicated piece of work to make sure you're using all your resources effectively. Basic Frost DK AoE is fine. You can look at this damage meter and easily think I'm doing everything perfect, but there's so much going on here that shouldn't be. So we're going to continue on. Still no Frost Strikes. It just kind of suck. I also want people to be very aware of Death and Decay. Death and Decay is not an insignificant amount of damage by any means. You need to make sure that you are dumping one of those unholy runes on that Death and Decay when it comes back up. Death and Decay is awesome damage. Absolutely awesome. There, Death and Decay is back now. And we're not going to use it. Death and Decay on all these is good squishy. Good squishy. Death and Decay needs to be fit nicely into your AoE rotation as a Frost DK. Just to make sure you're getting good use out of it. It's a lovely, tremendous piece of DPS. So, little things there. Make sure you're using that. For your first thing, the first tip, obviously, is when you go back into LFR or into your raids and you're doing AoE, Frost Strike. For the love of fucking God, Frost Strike. Frost Strike. As soon as you cannot Howling Blast, Frost Strike. Get into the habit of doing that. When you're running in, if you're not wanting to drop a Howling Blast immediately, there's nothing wrong with doing Howling Blast first. Get that Unholy Blight off. Get all those diseases nice and spread around. It's a good amount of damage, okay? A lot of people slag off disease damage as Frost. It's not the best. But if you have the ability to dot everything, do it. Do it. Get it out there. Get it done. Don't waste a rune on it. Just get it done. Nice and easy. And please, Frost Strike. Please, Frost Strike. I was like everyone else when I first saw it. Please, Frost Strike. Okay, so we're going to look at a couple of individual things. Alright, so as you can see, doing the boss, all pretty cool. Now, we need to talk about Pillar of Frost. And this lack of disease, I don't like. This is not cool. This is not cool. Especially when you have an Unholy Blight off cooldown, right? This is not cool. Make sure your diseases are on. Everything hits less when you don't have both diseases on. But Pillar of Frost is your main DPS cooldown as a Frost DK. Please, for the love of God, make sure your fucking diseases are on. Okay? Please make sure your diseases are on. It hurts me. Diseases should be on. You've even got Outbreak, for fuck's sake. There you go, you Unholy Blighted. Alright, cool. Right, your actual Pillar of Frost is amazing. If you've not played a Frost DK or you're thinking about it, Pillar of Frost is amazing for a number of reasons. The main thing that is amazing about Pillar of Frost is it's on a 1-minute cooldown, which means it doesn't suffer as much as other DPS cooldowns with trinkets and shit popping off at random times. But that also means you need to make best use of it and use it as much as possible. When something is on a really short cooldown, like 1 minute, delaying it by 5 or 6 seconds can lead to a missed use of that cooldown very, very easily. It adds up super fast. This is why I start telling you guys to use them tell me when things, to just pop it up on your screen when it's ready. If this fucking thing is ready to go, I want to know, because I need to use it as soon as possible, really. 1 minute cooldowns need to be used a lot, and you need to get best use out of them. One thing I noticed coming up here is your Pillar of Frost was at 8 seconds there. You managed to get your diseases back on in a moment with the Unholy Blight, which is all good. 2, 1. Now your actual Pillar of Frost is off cooldown now. It looks like it's still on cooldown. This is a big trap that DKs fall into, is that they think these things are still on cooldown because their runes are still recharging. Sitting on this Pillar of Frost for this amount of time is actually going to cost you tremendous DPS. It truly is. This is a big, fully wasted Pillar of Frost, because now you've got this traveling thing going on. You've got to run from pillar to pillar, and this thing could be on cooldown now. It could be on cooldown and all ready to come back up. And still we're sitting on it when we get back, okay? This needs use. There we go. We finally used it there. We probably missed something in a region of about 20 seconds there of Pillar of Frost. 20 seconds over a longish fight like this is a missed Pillar of Frost by the end of it. I guarantee you could have used an extra Pillar of Frost, which is a lot of DPS. It's a fucking shitload of DPS. You don't want to miss that, okay? So keep a good track on your diseases and make sure you're using these things. But don't fall into this classic trap, this DK Frost trap, of runes being on cooldown and making it appear like things that cost runes are still on cooldown. Alright? It's a big problem that Frost DKs and other Death Knights run into, is because you need X resource to fire off an ability. It looks like it's on cooldown, but it's not. So you need to be aware of that. You need to keep a good eye on that. This here, we actually just approached it here. I just want to show you this as well. This is another big problem that Frost DKs run into, is this situation here. Obliterate, which is this big 146k bastard right here. This is your face plant extraordinary for the two-handed Frost DKs. This is the thing that kicks ass and takes names. Obliterate procs Rime. Here's your Rime. This is the Rime symbol right here. It's all freezing fog, but most people call it Rime. Rhyme means you have a free Howling Blast to use. Under no fucking circumstances, when you see this, do you ever obliterate before casting that Howling Blast. Ever. It's so easy to fuck this up. I can't explain to you enough how easy it is to fuck this up. And fucking this up fucks your DPS up majorly. Okay? It really fucks you up. If you obliterate, every time you press that obliterate key, have in your mind, this might proc Rhyme. And if it does, I need to use that Howling Blast before I obliterate again. Alright? You need to get that in your mind. Every time you obliterate, is this going to proc Rhyme? No. Then obliterate again. You need that in your head. You'll get used to it eventually, but you need that in your head. If you don't, you just waste resources. If you obliterate again, that might be 2 Howling Blasts you've now missed, which is just bad. Bad news. Don't want that. Don't want that. Don't want that at all. Boom. You can see. There we go. That's up again. Now, you saw the killing machine. I know what went through your head. We'll back it up to... Ugh, it's such a tiny window. This is how minor it is. There. I know what went through your head. You saw this. And you thought, fuck yeah, I've got a big ass critting bastard of an obliterate ready to go. I have this ready to go. I'm going to fire it because it's going to be a big meaty crit. Boom! 177k. That obliterate could have led to another Rhyme. Don't want to do that. Really don't want to do that. Free Howling Blasts are good squishy. Very good squishy. Use it. Use that Howling Blast. There you go. Every time. This confused me a little bit. I saw this through most of your play. Is you were dropping Death and Decay on single target mobs. Now, I got the idea that you were doing this because you are absolutely terrified of this attenuation mechanic. And I mean scared as in you're never coming out of your house ever again, right? It's absolutely terrifying because you drop the Death and Decay and then you run to fucking Ogrimmar to get away from attenuation. I mean, you run so far away, it's scary, right? I'm gonna play this bit. You run so fucking far away. So far away. Check it. This looks like a grandmother at a Boxing Day sale at the supermarket or at the shops or something. That is absolute sheer... The best moment of this is this sheer panic. Where is it? It's coming in a sec. It's not Forsenberg. It's this bit where you actually like flicker the screen like, holy shit! There, look at that. You change to 5 different directions at once. It's like, holy fuck, I'm going to die. Okay? First of all, it's LFR. You're not going to die. You're okay. You're fine. LFR is a great place to practice what we like to call moving and DPSing. Alright? Moving and DPSing. Don't be afraid of these mechanics. Learn how to deal with them. Is how you do this, okay? Is your melee, running to Ogrimmar is not how you deal with this mechanic. This mechanic is actually really easy. It's been nerfed even on Heroic. It's not that difficult to deal with anymore. It follows a nice circular spiral pattern. And you can stay completely in melee range, utterly safe, without any issues once you see which way the pattern is going, and continue to DPS really, really simply around it, okay? Don't fear it. Use LFR for what it's there for. Try out this shit. Keep doing it over and over and over again. It doesn't matter if you don't need loot. Get back in there and just keep running that fucking circle until you're so used to it that you're not bothered by it anymore. Do not be afraid of these kind of mechanics. If you are going to end up in a situation like this, let's say that something happened and you ended up a long way away from the boss. Still use your resources. Let's see some Howling Blasts on this bastard. Let's see something happening with this. Get Howling Blasting. Get Diseasing. Get doing something. Use those resources. They're just sitting there. We don't like that. Again, just keep a little closer eye on what you're doing with your diseases. Let's not let them drop off at all. We want to see at least 96% uptime in your World of Logs. If you're not recording your own World of Logs, you should be. And there you go, you drop that Death and Decay again. I just want to say this is not a single target DPS increase as far as I'm aware, especially if you're playing two-handed. Dual wield's a little bit different, but for two-handed it shouldn't be. What happened there? See, this is the fear. This is the fear. Okay? You see the cast of attenuation there. This is a terrified player. Don't be this guy. Be a baller. Be brave. Be brave. Be a soldier. Be ready to go. Don't wait out. This is terrible. This is all lost DPS. You could be attacking during this entire period. Everything that happens here, you could be doing full... Look at all these melee. You can see all the melee are attacking. It's actually mainly just yourself who's not. You can see all the melee circling the boss. Very easy. Just note. Let me just see if I can get a nice shot of it. For anybody who does this on their boss, again, we're not... This is anything... A lot of you in the chat are probably doing the same thing. So let's bear that in mind. Here comes attenuation. See if I can get a nice shot of it. There. No, that sucks. It's terrible. Bad camera work by me. It comes out in a spiral. So these areas here, here, and the one back there are perfectly safe to just move in a nice circle around the boss. It's a perfect spiral. As you can see, it's a perfect spiral motion. Really, really easy. There's one more thing I wanted to point out there. There's lots to be working on there. So I'd love it if you'd send me another video after you've done this and just show me your improvement. We would love to see that. Be aware of being a complete cheeser here with the Howling Blast spam. 315k, 400k, 400k, and kicking ass and taking names. Oh well, you mind controlled. What are you gonna do? Howling Blast the whole fucking raid. There it was actually. I've just missed it by a few seconds. Where are we? There. 6, 7. There. You popped your pet. There. I don't know why you did that. If I were you, just get your Pillar of Frost macroed into your pet. Okay? Now, I could be wrong on this. I haven't researched it entirely, but I'm pretty sure your ghoul still takes the benefit of the buffs that are on you, especially strength, when you summon it. Yeah, I know he's MC, but it's just as cheesy. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case, right? Is it wrong? Has it changed? Is it just on use? It does. Okay. No one knows. So I'll find that out. It's macro to Death Pact. Oh, you're using it for Death Pact? Let's have a look. I just noticed you popped the pet. Well, I noticed it hadn't been popped, so I was watching for it. Let's watch again. Where is it? God. But let's have a look. Let's see. Come on. You pop it at 1608. I know you do. That's not a Death Pact. Or if it was, why were you Death Pacting? Can you let me know? You pop it right there and you were full health. I think you did Death Pact, I think, didn't you? I can't see the Death Pact. I don't know. But this is a really unusual time. You certainly weren't going to use it for DPS there. Okay. So if you're going to do that, be aware of getting some cooldowns on. I just macro, unless you're in serious danger of dying that you need to Death Pact, let's get that macroed into Pillar of Frost. You can always change it if it's a fight where you think you'll need to Death Pact. That's okay. But let's just be aware. It's nice to make sure you're getting that ghoul on use, which is good. At least you use it, which is a good thing. And there's loads to go out there. Loads to go out there. Mainly your AoE. Really work on your AoE. Really work on your AoE. Spend some time doing it. Go to the test dummies. It makes no difference. Okay? Go to the test dummies. Make sure your runes are on cooldown and your runic power is getting used. And then start getting used. You'll find, once you start mastering this, you'll find that your unholy runes aren't really doing anything. Let's get a nice track on Death and Decay. Make sure you get the best use out of that. And also go back into Alpha to this boss and practice attenuation. It will serve you no end. It's not just for this boss. Okay, that's the important thing. It's not just for this boss. It's to make sure that you're always able to move and DPS at the same time. Always be able to do that. Once you practice something, if you can deal with attenuation without any problems, nothing will really ever bother you again. Nothing will ever bother you whatsoever. You'll be absolutely fine for the rest of your life. Every time you have to move in this game, you'll be DPSing like a champ. It'll just be second nature to you. You'll be fine. It'll be awesome. So a big thank you to you, and I'd really look forward to seeing a return video. If you could do one for me, aces, absolutely aces. Our final video, we're going to be looking at the Throne of Thunder, our new raid that is coming up in patch 5.2. We're going to be looking at the trolliest of trolley bosses. Trollest of trolley bosses. We are fighting many trolls. We're going to be looking at Horadon, Horadon. And this is submitted to us by Sparkhugs. Again, if you could give him a shout out at youtube.com/Sparkhugs. That's SPARKUGZ. Check him out, give him a subscribe and thumbs up. He puts all the latest content up there for us, which is always good, and he's no problem submitting things to us. We want him to continue to do that because we want to look at these new bosses. There's Horadon. Big motherfucking rhino bastard. Oh, yeah. Big bastard rhino. There he is. Look at that bad boy. Ooh. This guy is meaty, but this is a fight that you're going to hate if you're not very good at multitasking. And that is if you are just going to see a lot of mobs and think, I'm going to AoE the shit out of everything. This fight has many, many adds, all of which come from different troll tribes, the Amani, the Zandalari, all this kind of good shit. They're all going to be making an appearance in this fight, and they're all coming in different types. It's like Zulaman and Zul'Gurub shit all over your day. That's what it's going to be like. We're going to see all sorts of different types of adds, and this fight is designed for moving, being able to DPS while moving, like we looked at in the previous video, and also reprioritizing on the fly. We need to reprioritize very, very quickly in this fight. There's also going to be an added combination of tank swaps, which seems like such a delicate thing in this video, like we've never really seen it, which is cool. So we're going to start this fight. We've seen Sparkles play before, we're not bothered about his UI. I want you to know, they instantly pull this boss. Now, after you've done a few tries, like these guys obviously did, we've got a monk tanking there in the name of Just Wait. Wonderful guy. Going to be pulling it over there. And Horadon is going to be doing big sweeps. Boom! You can see it there, the whole floor. Big sweeps which kick your ass and take your names. Take your names. And then you'll see this message. Faraki forces pour from the Faraki tribal door. Here come the ads. Here come the trollios. Now, every single door, there are 4 doors in this environment. All these 4 doors are going to spawn different types of trolls. Trolls, trolls, trolls. And then eventually when this part of the fight is over, Horadon is going to go ahead and destroy the gate and prevent any of those ads spawning again. So in this particular instance we have, let me just make sure I get this right, this is the Farakis. We've got Stone Gazers, which are these little guys down there, these little basilisk guys. They do a stun. 2-second cast. So now you've instantly got the idea. We're going to be doing a lot of interrupting. We're going to be using all our abilities. So rogues, get your kidney shots ready. You're going to be doing all that kind of stuff. And we get Waste Walkers, which is these big troller guys here. And these Waste Walkers are going to do massive moonfires and also spawn sand traps all over the place. So we now have to move and reprioritize. You can see the DPS priority there. Then we're going to switch over. You'll notice there's these skirmishers. These are just the bread and butter mobs that you don't really want to target. And you can see a very quick idea of doing some mad DPS, doing a little bit of AoE, clearing those out, and then back to focusing these Waste Walkers here. Whoever is your tanks are going to have a really nasty time with this fight. The first gate, as you can imagine, is one of the easy ones. A little bit of interrupting, a little bit of stunning, nothing particularly special. You can see this blazing sunlight. That's what you want to be interrupting if you're melee or if you've got something like counterspell. And also stuns. So frost mages, get your deep freezes ready to go and just prevent all this damage. So your first door isn't too bad. Here come these skirmishers. Again, these are casting the stun. Now you can see what happens as this door continues on. You can see all these sand traps starting to spawn. These do a lot of damage. Healers, you're going to have a hard time with this. I'm not going to lie to you. You're going to have a lot of trouble with this fight. A lot of trouble. On top of this, you've still got Horadon doing his tail sweep as well. You're going to notice boomf, that going on all the time. Position, 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 position. This is what I teach you about this stuff, right? Position, 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 position. All the fucking time, no matter what you're doing. You really need to be aware of your position. You're going to be moving all the fucking time against Horadon. You're really going to be having a bad time. Pretty cool. There you can see. Razi forces Horadon to charge the Faraki door. So there you go. Really easy. He's going to charge the door, smash the door up. Horadon's going to break the door, and that's the end of that segment of the fight. You can see he charges it, he breaks it, gets stuck in the door for a moment while you finish off the remaining ads, and then you're going to move over to the next door. And here we go. It's the Gurubashis next. The Gurubashis. We like the Gurubashi. Now this is where he's going to get real messy. You're going to encounter some mechanics which basically, this is the worst kind of mechanics that are ever put into fights, is where there's a huge AoE on the floor and it moves. Moving sucks. Moving sucks. Now you're going to get these Venom Priests there. You can see them. They're quite noticeable. A little bit taller. So you're going to have to pay attention graphically to what you're looking at. Venom Priests are going to do, as you can imagine, a lot of poison. And their poison moves around. So I'm going to skip along a little bit. There you can see. This poison here is very graphic and very large. But unfortunately, it does the other thing of following your ass. It follows you wherever you're going, and it stacks. Yes, it stacks. This phase of the fight is going to be a fucking nightmare. It really is. It's going to be a nightmare. I want you to constantly be paying attention to this debuff. This is the poison volley. These priests shoot this out regularly, and the health bars of the raid. Healers, it's not a great fight. I also want to point out here that although our monk started tanking Horadon, in between swapping between doors, a tank swap has occurred. You can see a warrior is now tanking Horadon, and the monk, just wait, is now tanking the ads. Or he's doing his best to. Some of these ads have random aggro. Now you can see this poison pool, and now he spawned another poison pool, and a third poison pool, and these things are moving the fuck around. They are following you. They are chasing you. You're not going to like this. You're not going to like this at all. On top of this, you also have these Zandalari Dinomancers, okay? These are going to have these Dinomancers in there. These heal Horadon. As you can see, Horadon's back to 92%. The objective at the beginning of this fight is not to be doing too much damage to Horadon. You need to control, interrupt, stun, lock down, and avoid damage. Look at the health bars. As this phase goes on, he's now up to 7 stacks of poison, and he hasn't really hit anything. These are the natural stacks. So you're going to see a lot of increasing amounts of stacks, more poison. This fight gets very hectic very quickly. And then you have a sort of brief downtime period where you take maximum enjoyment out of the fact it's quiet for a moment as you then move on to the next door. So we're going to get into destroyed doors, move on, move on, move on. You can see this line. Let me see if I can show you this. Be ready for this. A lot of people say they can't see it. It is there. As we move on, I'll see if I can pause it at the exact point so you guys are aware. I do like pointing this kind of stuff out because people always say there's no warning. There's no warning when this happens. There, you can see the red circular line going all the way around. That's where he's going to swipe you. Get the F out of there. So this fight is really well designed. It's really well designed in the fact that there is tons going on. So you're not going to be bored. You're going to be interrupting, spell reflecting. You're going to be stunning. You're going to be doing everything you can possibly do to control and prioritize these ads. So DPS are never going to be bored. There is no way of being in a set position to counteract this fight. Horadon's moving around. Venom pools and stuff chasing you absolutely everywhere. It's going to be a stressful time. It really is. But a good fight. Looks good. I do like the idea of this fight. So there you go. Another tank swap. Now we've got the warrior. We've got Horadon tanked by the monk, and the warrior is now free to get ready to tank our next bunch of ads. Here they come. Okay, again, we've got a multitude. We've got some ads that are semi-shit. No big deal at all. You actually try and use Army of the Dead here, which doesn't work out too well. The first mechanic you need to be aware of are the Frozen Warlords. You've got one there, pointed out with a lovely blue hair. Another Frozen Warlord there. These things are your number one priority. Again, always swiftly reprioritizing what you should be DPSing. These Frozen Warlords are going to spawn these Frost Orbs. Frost Orbs hurt. 200,000 frost damage and slow you by 20%. The more of them on the field, the more of a bad time you're going to have. So Frozen Warlords are your priority at this point. Everything else is just pretty trash. You can see them casting Frozen Orbs. Now you've got 2 Frozen Orbs randomly shooting people. 3, 4. You can see how quickly this starts to get out of hand. And you've also got Horadon still swiping the absolute area. All bad news. Mixing in, here comes your Dinomancer. He's going to heal Horadon. Not a big deal. You don't mind him heal Horadon for this point. We're not too bothered by it. And it's so chaotic. Constantly, look at the Frost Orbs there. If you were to walk into there, you're in for a fucking pain train. An absolute fucking pain train. This is what's going to be happening. You're going to be shimmying and moving. More ads coming all the time. This looks extremely fun for tanking. Some of you out there who are tanks might think, ugh, this looks horrible. I think this looks awesome. I want to tank this fight. I genuinely want to tank this fight because it's amazing. There's so much going on. I can use every fucking ability in my spellbook to make sure this fight works. And then doing my best. You can see Vikina died, which is unfortunate. And then moving around it. So this is going to be really, really fucking cool. Really cool fight. I love the idea of this fight. So we're going to keep moving around. More trolls, more trolls, more trolls, more trolls. Your Amani coming to the fight. Now we're mixing in Chain Lightning. Now we've got our Warbears. Who knows what Warbears do? Come on. All of you have done Zolaban and Zilgarub. Who knows what Warbears do? What happens when you kill a Warbear? Come on. Come on. When you kill a Warbear, what happens? Someone must know. No, not Sunder Armor. Not Sunder Armor. Not Enrage. They fuck us up. Charge and Sunder. No. Something. Drop their rider. Booyah. Rhino Lupe like a gangster. They drop their rider. These are no different. The only issue is when they drop their rider, their riders are seriously badasses, which again is another priority switch you're going to be deciding on. Are we ready to kill the Warbears? However, the Warbears also swipe. So we now have Chain Lightning, so you're going to be spreading out, and you've got Swipe. Warbears swipe and cleave and kick your ass if you're too close to them. Don't like that. Actually, a lovely move here by Just Wait. Actually taunts the... He sees this Warbear is a little bit loose. The raid is over there. Just Wait goes ahead and taunts that bastard off until Deke is ready to pick it up, which is great to see. Just saving the raid. If you're the tank and you're tanking Horadon, so many tanks get stuck in this idea of, my job is to tank Horadon. I don't do anything else. A free Warbear is going to cleave one of your gangsters down. You do not want that to happen. So then deciding, gathering them all up, when are we going to kill the Warbears? Because when they drop, they're going to drop the Beast Shamans. More Warbears coming into the fight. Again, DPSs, especially ranged, you clothy guys, watch out for these Warbears, because they're going to cleave your ass down. Don't want that. You got Flamecasters as well that need interrupting, kicking, stunning, if you can. Otherwise, this is going to happen. Random damage absolutely everywhere. You're not going to be able to interrupt everything, so don't try and do that. And then when your Warbear's down, boom, here come your Beast Shaman. These are the Chain Lightning guys. And they also hex you. So Dispelling is the order of the day as well. Going to be hexed, you're going to be AoE'd, you're going to be Chain Lightning. Not going to be good. Not going to be good. One of the big reasons that you need to decide on this fight when you're going to drop the Beast Shaman is they have an ability called Lightning Nova Totem. Lightning Nova Totem inflicts 500,000 damage to anybody stood near it. There it is. It's that shiny thing there. This is why you want to be very careful about killing lots of Warbears at once. Lots of Warbears at once. You don't want to do that because you're going to end up with Lightning Nova Totems doing 500,000 damage to you all the time. You can see them over there. Need to be very picky. You need to have some control over this. It's not about AoE. If you try AoE, there's another totem. If you try and just AoE everything down as soon as humanly possible, you're going to have a bad time. It's about picking what you want to fight. Let's wait for the Warbears. Let's kill a Warbear. Let's get these totems out of the way because we don't want 500,000 damage totems all over the fucking place. Now you might think that's all the gate's done. So our fight is now just DPS Horadon down. Have a great old time. Horadon, of course, has a rider. Yes, he does. He goes by the name of War God Jalek. War God Jalek's going to come into the fight if Horadon hits 30% health to avoid people trying to Zerg Horadon. Or if all the gates have been dealt with, then Jalek's going to drop off. And Jalek does a couple of nice things, actually, so you can't ignore him. This fight is very much based around, or has been redesigned, an encounter of Sartharian 3 Drakes. This entire encounter is anti-Zerg. Because you might think, can't we just kill Horadon? He's only got 400 million health. It's not actually that much. Just off-tank the ads, right? This fight is designed to prevent you doing that. I'm sure at some point some crazy guild will figure out one healer strategy that makes it work, but this fight is technically designed to prevent you being able to Zerg him down. And that is with the addition of things like, if you get into a certain amount of HP, it's going to bring in more action. And plus trolls are going to be constantly spawning. Come on, Jalek, where are you? Do-do-do-do, Jalek, we want to see. Boom! There's Jalek! Yeah! Jalek doesn't do much other than put a stacking debuff on the whole raid that increases damage taken. The base damage is 150,000 damage. Every time he casts it, increased by 25%. You need to kill him. You can't just kill Horadon. You need to DPS down Jalek. You need to get him killed fast. Need to get him killed fast. No, these poison pools are still in existence. That's where the Bloodlust is popped. We can now do some consistent, nice DPS. Get down Jalek as soon as possible. He's only got 21 mil HP. Or is it 200 mil? Fucking Sparkle's cheesing. Down goes Jalek. Now, when Jalek dies, he's going to enrage Horadon even further. this is where your tanks are going to really have a bad time. You can see how much damage these guys are taking. Tank swaps are still the order of the day. You're getting a stacking debuff if you're tanking this fight. You need to do your tank swaps. Jalek goes down. You can see he goes red. The boss has gone red now. He's enraged. Just makes him doing a shitload more damage. 100% more damage and 100% faster attack speed. So you're going to get a lot more swipes. You're going to get a lot more punctures on the tank, and the tank's going to have a bad time with it. So you just got, this is actually the easier part of the fight. We can see the kind of damage these tanks are taking. Just watch the HP of the monk. Up and down like a fucking yo-yo. Healers, you might think you had a stressful part of this fight at the very beginning. Stressful part continues. Continues down all the way through the end. I believe at some point our friend Deke is going to taunt this boss and have a very bad day. You can see Just Wait having a really bad day when that puncture comes. It's called puncture. Or triple puncture, I believe it's called. And there goes Deke taunting. Deke's going to have a go. And Deke's dead. Okay? You see that? Yeah? Let's watch that again. Purely because I know Deke hates tanking. So, healers, you really need to be aware of when this tank switch is coming. This tank switch is going to be a bad day. Bump. See how quickly he died? Yeah, good shit. This is normal mode. It's nothing scary. You just have to be ready for it. This is nothing scary. You know this is coming, okay? You know it's coming. Absolutely know it's coming. You can see 4 stacks on Just Wait of this triple puncture, and that's going to keep stacking up and keep giving him more and more damage. Popping cooldowns, defensive cooldowns to counteract this ability. And it's all going to be good. And Horidon's going to go down. He's still got these charges to set size on Sparkugs. Gives him the charge. Get out of the red circle, as you can see there. And continues the DPS normally, and you're going to have a good time. So this fight is going to be down to the tank damage at this point. I'd like to see maybe a bit more spreading, but no big deal. It's all good. And down he goes. And Just Wait, being an overpowered monk with his yo-yo style health bar, is going to be ahead and finish this fight off. So that's Horidon for you. A good fight to look forward to. It actually looks really fun. Looks like a fight I would love to tank. I actually think I would love to tank that fight. I think that would be amazing. I think that was pretty crazy. Alright, that is the end of our today's workshop. I hope you enjoyed that. We looked at 3 wonderful fights. Basically, I wanted the theme of this workshop to be all about calmness, relaxation, even in the face of absolute terror. It's very easy to do that. We looked at some good things for our Frost DK. I hope he gets back to me with some updates and thinks it's good. But from the raiding perspective, we looked at Throne of Thunder and we looked at a Shower of Fear Realm first. And both of the times just looking at calmness and just dealing with these situations. It might seem chaotic on the screen. There's a lot going on. It's all about priorities. Yeah, there's a million ads. What do I actually need to kill here? This guy. I need to interrupt him, stun him, and we're going to have a good time. So it's all about being relaxed, being calm. Once you've got past the fear of attenuation on LFR, too soon, then you're going to have a good time. Alright? Pretty good. I was more terrified now. You're going to be fine. You're going to be absolutely fine. You're going to be really good. Yeah, I could tank it for you. I love to tank that fight. I actually think that'd be a great fight to tank. I think it looks pretty cool. I will be available for about 5 minutes after the daily, but I'm going to go now. I hope you enjoyed that workshop. And there's a cool video going up on YouTube in a few minutes of a little fun thing. A lot of you have been asking for shorter videos of just little fun moments, and I think you might like it. It's only a minute long. Check it out. All right, guys, take it easy, ballers. It's workshop tomorrow. Workshop tomorrow. Workshop Wednesday.